Welcome back. New Zealand Prime Minister's visit to the Cook Islands was much anticipated, and she finally landed on our island paradise last night. It was a colourful ceremony at the Rarotonga International Airport as the official New Zealand government aircraft opened its doors. Greg Parker with a report on the visit.
Sounds of beating drums filled the air around Rarotonga International Airport as Jacinda Ardern made her way out of the New Zealand Air Force plane and onto the tarmac. Dancers and people clad in colourful island attire brightened up Tuesday night as they lined up across the tarmac. The New Zealand Prime Minister was full of admiration.
Those who were with us at the House of Ariki will know how moved I was by the warmth of that welcome. And how familiar it felt at the same time, you know, being able to even understand some of the words that were spoken during that reception. And I have to say, it may be my first visit, but it will certainly not be my last. And my partner Clark for a long time has tortured me with images of him holidaying here without me. I'm never going to allow that to happen again. So this will be the first of many visits, but I imagine it will be hard to top the reception we've had here. The warmth, the hospitality, it's been wonderful.
Miss Ardern's day started today with her first call being at the House of Ariki. The Indigenous royals of the Cook Islands had not spared anything in ensuring that this would be a welcome that she never forgot. From the time the traditional challenge was made to the moment she left the House of Ariki, even when heavens opened up to shower blessings on the event. The placing of the stone on the pito, or the belly button, of the tiki in Atupare was a significant gesture. The stone, brought from a marae in New Zealand, was placed on the marae here. This signified that the two nations were one. The Indigenous royals said Jacinda Ardern was welcome anytime. It was a busy day today for Miss Ardern. Her official engagement will end tonight with a state dinner, but tomorrow she'll be on the roll again. Tomorrow she'll start her day at Te Ora College. Greg Parker, CITV News.
Cook Islands will celebrate International Women's Day tomorrow, and to make the day even better, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern will meet with female political, business and community leaders. While the women will celebrate International Women's Day tomorrow, Ms Ardern said she was willing to help improve lives of women on the island. Shalveen Chand with this report.
According to a UN Women's report, some work is left to be done to bring about gender equality in the Cook Islands. Ms Ardern this morning during the official press conference said that even in New Zealand, they were still bringing about policy changes to have total gender equality.
I have to acknowledge that we have our own challenges in New Zealand, that yes, in terms of representation at a political level, we have now the highest number of women in our parliament than we've ever had before. So we have seen improvements, but at the same time, representation at senior levels in business, over-representation of women in low-paid work and precarious work, and in our domestic violence statistics tells us that we still have a long way to go. So we are very focused on what we can do domestically, But at the same time, we recognise that there is a role that we can play in supporting our friends and neighbours as they develop support and mentoring programs around women who might be interested in moving into leadership programs, particularly at a political level. And so that's something that we've done within the New Zealand Parliament. And I've met some of the women in the Pacific previously because of those programs. And we'll continue to look for ways to support particularly women going into politics. Because ultimately, if we want to see step change in some of the policies that affect women, it often, of course, helps to have women at the table. I acknowledge that actually relative to some of our other Pacific neighbours, both Niue and the Cook Islands representation is much better than others. But I'm sure we all hold a high bar for ourselves and are constantly looking to improve.
Danielle Tungane Cochrane is a fine example of a woman in a leadership role. The Ministry of Education Secretary said it was a good thing that Ms. Ardern was present on the day because this would motivate the women of Cook Islands to do their best in moving forward.
So it's a great combination of two very special events, I think. Both women in leadership, as well as we have a female principal, and we've got Prime Minister Ardern coming as well. So I think it's a nice little connection there. We will be honouring the day. Most of us will be in the theme of purple, which is the colour for International Women's Day.
According to the UN report, changes in laws and policies have to be done. New Zealand is willing to offer help in terms of resources and ideas. And this member of the public believes Ms. Ardern's visit was just timely in moving the issue of gender equality.
Well, I always supported, over 20 years here in the Cook Islands, always supported the development and advancement of women. I strongly believe in women's leadership in various positions, starting from NGOs, from government organizations, from private sector, and I think all of us should do everything possible to advance women's rights.
There is now an even bigger push to have more women represented in all sectors, both private and government. Tomorrow, the women leaders will meet with Jacinda Ardern, and perhaps there could be aid on its way to do just that. Shalvin Chand, CIT.